Tim, can you put Opie through to the A side? I can't take him on the on the B side. Hold on, I can grab him. Opie in Treasure Island. Opie, you're also a Germany fan like Tim?
I am first generation born. My mother, my father, my cousin played on a minor league team. That was a very soft foul. If they were not trying to, if they were trying to make the game better by not calling all the flops, but they call something like that, they bumped into each other. He fell down. He got back up and had plenty of time to block that goal. But at the same time,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say Germany is not the juggernaut they were because they have soft defensive counter tactics. They're not the same team. But on that foul, they bumped into each other. There was 3 guys there. They all bumped into each other. The goalie fell down, got back up, had plenty of time to save that goal, and that goal went over his head. That was a soft goal. And if they were going to not call the flops and let the players play, but then call that is extremely frustrating. I think Germany should have had that goal.
So you called it a soft foul, which means it's still a foul, though, right?
I see what you're saying.
All right, there you go. See, he agreed. Had to get rid of him. We're out of time.
You suck.
You're getting just hazed on the text. Oh, here's one from Sean. I played keeper for 30-plus years. As a keeper, I'd want that foul because he wasn't playing the ball and came at the keeper instead of going to the ball. But also, it did look like they just collided. Tough break. I could see it both ways.
They just collided. That's what it was.
Sounds like
Germany got screwed.
Sounds like a Boston fan. Anytime they lose, it's because they got screwed.
Oh, please.
People are asking who Germany plays next. All right, let's you know who did win in Germany? The Buccaneers when they played there. Let's go to Steve Isbitts, JoeBucksFan.com. Steve, did you see the Germany game before we get into the Buccaneers conversation?
Oh, absolutely. Do you mind if I pile on Tim a little bit here?
Yeah, go ahead. That's what we're here for. I'm glad that you can pile on. Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I played college soccer, so let me put that out there. I was also an all-county player in high school. And this was 100% a foul, and this is exactly why the VAR was instituted, to get rid of these BS fouls that are changing games at the international level. So if you watch the play, you'll see that the ball is over. If you slow it down, you'll see that the Paraguay players are looking back because the ball's over their head. However, the Germany goalie at that time is being literally 2 arms around. The Paraguay goalie has a German player, the guy who committed the foul, he's got 2 arms around and he cannot play the ball. That is a clear violation. This is not incidental. He couldn't play the ball, and that's his one job. And if you don't like it, then don't look at the replay. But that's reality. It's a good call. It's what's cleaned up a lot of soccer.
Steve, how often do you tell people you were all-county soccer player?
I haven't said that in many, many years.
That was quite the flag. Steve Isbitts, JoeBucksFan.com, joining us right now. So why I wanted to have you on the show today, I mean, many reasons. One, you're filled with so much Buccaneers knowledge, but you guys are doing something on the site that I find so fascinating that gave me quite the laugh, too. You guys are the ones that had the story of Levante David. You were talking about how he admitted to loafing, and he admitted this on a podcast, and basically taking plays off. So you guys right now are going back and you're watching film, and I believe you went back and watched the Patriots film, and you watched the Buffalo Bills game, and you guys are paying attention to see if players were loafing besides Levante David. And I found this very fascinating because you discovered other players were taking plays off. Can you just tell people what you were discovering from watching the game and the film from these two games last season?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, this isn't just about Levante David. Diaby told T-Kraz, hey, you watch Bucs film and it looks like we don't have a lot of juice out there. Well, that's kind of code for saying we're not playing nearly as hard as we should be. And Todd Bowles last week said, one of the things he wants to improve is us not getting the lead and, quote, just taking plays off. So these are massive red flags. And even Baker Mayfield kind of piled on with a backhanded thing saying we needed more dogs on defense. So, during the season, I'll call out some loafs as we see it. But I'm going back now, it's easy to go back without a lot of emotion. You're not pissed off about the game or happy about the game and just looking at it. And so, yeah, definitely the last couple of games here that you mentioned, Patriots and Bills, you got some loafs in there from Benjamin Morrison, from Michael Jordan, who had a lot of loafs in that game against the Patriots. He kind of cleaned it up the following week against the Bills. Yaya even had one in there, sort of a minor one. And you've got guys who are just really soft. It's a fine line to call out a guy on effort, but you look at Braswell, just very soft. I don't even know if he's loafing. Maybe he's just so soft. And McCollum played pretty darn soft too. So, yeah, we're going through them. I've watched a couple more. We'll be publishing those. And, it's a little disturbing.
JoeBucsFan.com. Steve Isbitts joining us. Yeah, interesting read if you want to go there. It's on the website. I think the one that concerns me the most is Benjamin Morrison. Being a young player, someone who really needed to step up and prove himself, and he's going to, of course, get that opportunity this year. But he's a guy that has been, a little underwhelming. I don't want to set the bar too high, but I think he's been a little underwhelming of what we thought we were going to get out of this guy. And to hear that he was maybe taking plays off based on your judgment, that one kind of worries me a little bit. You never want to hear it from anybody. But when somebody like Levante David does it, I'm like, all right, you know what? He's old. He's just out of gas. I don't want to hear that about one of my young corners that I drafted in the second round that people say, should have been a first rounder if not for injury. Now, do you think a lot of this has anything to do with Todd Bowles? Is he kind of to blame for this? Because leadership, to me, should be making sure no one's taking any plays off.
Yeah, the coach is always to blame to a degree, and ultimately that's his responsibility. Even if you lose, you want everybody who watched the game to say, man, that is one physical team that gave us a fight all the way through, and the Bucs really get after it. That's not something you walk away from Bucs games saying every time, and that's a reflection of the coach. Now, individually, I'm not saying Morrison's loafing through games, but there are plays where, he wasn't necessarily 100% eager to get into the scrum and get after Josh Allen as he was heading toward the goal line. And certain plays, some of it from Morrison and other guys can be tied to injury. Just why does a guy usually loaf? He's either tired or he's banged up, and the Bucs may have been dealing with that with multiple guys, but there's still no excuse for it. Take yourself out of the game if you feel you can't get after it.
Steve, Norway just scored, and by the way, nobody tackled the goalie in order to score. I just wanted to throw that in there. I'm talking to Steve Isbitts, JoeBucsFan.com. Steve, what are your thoughts on the Baker Mayfield, contract situation? He kind of, the media's asking about him. He's not deflecting the questions. He's answering them. What do you think about that? And what do you think the issue is? Is it, length of the contract, money, or is it both?
I think it's both, and he's just looking for respect, and they've got time as well, both sides. But I thought it was interesting. I think people lost sight of where he was talking the other day at his football camp. He was right there in Norman, which he considers, his home. And some of the things he was emphasizing, I think he wanted the people there, specifically the locals, to know that, yeah, Tampa is my home. I love Tampa. And even if I'm not there, if something happens, I still love Tampa. I think he was defending Tampa, not sort of suggesting that he might go elsewhere. I thought that his tone overall was very optimistic. I thought Bucs fans should really be positive about that. Baker, when he's annoyed, he doesn't hide it very well, and a snarky comment is almost guaranteed from him, and that's not what happened the other day. So I'm confident they'll get something done before week one, maybe not by his deadline, but before week one.
Steve Isbitts, JoeBucsFan.com. You guys have an article on JoeBucsFan.com right now talking about Zach Robinson and how much he loves a bell cow at running back. Who's more likely to be the bell cow for the Buccaneers this year, Kenneth Gainwell or Bucky Irving? I know they're going to be kind of a split back, but who do you see getting a majority of those carries?
I don't think there is going to be much of a majority. I think they do want to keep a little bit of a pitch count on Bucky Irving because of his size and because of his history. And Gainwell, he's never carried the mail. If you look at it last year, he had his best game. He had 19 carries. I think it was 106 yards or something for the Steelers. It was like the next 5 games combined, he had like 25 carries. He's just not a guy who's ever gotten a lot of touches. And I think it's going to be a pretty even split. And frankly, it's been a pretty even split with Rachaad White in the past couple of years. It just felt more like, since Bucky was getting the starts, he was getting a big load, but that wasn't consistent.
Steve Isbitts, JoeBucksFan.com, joining us. Last one for you before I let you go. You spent some time at minicamp a couple weeks ago. Anybody stand out to you that maybe the media is not really talking about right now?
Ooh, well, I think we've all talked about everything. That's kind of a hook there. No secret Santa in there, but I will go back to Gainwell as somebody who was just really consistently looking like, wow, he fits in right away. He's smooth with Mayfield. He's got everything they're looking for. He looks like a mature Bucky Irving, and he just showed up. So he's new and he's getting it. So I'll go with him. And on defense, the little bit you get to see from Ruben Bain, it just looks really special. So I'm happy to dive into the hype. It's a lot of fun, and let's see what happens when the pads come on.
Steve Isbitts, JoeBucksFan.com. Steve, appreciate your time today, and we learned something about you today. You're all-county soccer, and I don't know how many more times you'll get to drop that in your lifetime, but it was a pleasure getting to know that.
Yeah, probably never again, but it irks me. That is a good call, and I may even put something on Twitter with a screenshot.
Thanks for the call, or thanks for checking in with us, Steve. We'll talk to you soon, and
Thanks, Nick.
appreciate everything you guys do here at WDA. Of course, you can hear the Joe Bucks Fan Show every weekend. Those guys do a fantastic job. But there you go, Tim, all-county soccer player right there, confirming it was a good call, no goal for Germany yesterday. You can't tackle the goaltender. You just can't. Norway just made it 1-0. Guess what they didn't do, Tim? They didn't tackle the goalie.
He didn't tackle the goalie. The goalie pushed off. Plus, when you have a former Danish goalkeeper say that wasn't a goal, that should have been a goal, then yeah, I kind of go.
Is it possible you're a little biased? Because we watched that video.
Am I biased? Am I rooting for Germany? Yes.
Right, but it wasn't just me and you watching the video. The other person with us also said that was a foul. Do you think that maybe?
I think it's because you guys want to get under my skin and make me want to do this on radio, which you've done successfully.
No, I would never.
Yeah, okay.
I would never.
I
just like to applaud.
As you started off this previous segment saying you haven't reacted, I've been trying to get you to react, and yeah, okay.
I like to applaud a referee when they make a really good call and they do their job. So good job to the referee in that game. Paraguay moves on to the round of 16.